guys, welcome to the first episode of 2022. All right, y'all, we got a whole another year to make podcast episodes. I'm so excited. So to kick it off, I did an interview with my friend Barbara, B Bossarella, and that is what she is. She is a total boss. She is a serial entrepreneur, a life coach, and host of Jesus Please Holla Back podcast. So you already know this episode had some gems, so just prepare yourselves for that. And also, I want to apologize in advance because we had a special guest appearance by my daughter. And then at one point, Barbara just disappeared on us. I don't know what happened. So, and then we could have kept going for probably like another 30 minutes just chatting, but I had mommy duties calling. So, but we got the audio, okay? We got the recording, and you can hear everything. So, because I've heard horror stories, and I don't wish this on nobody, and I hope it never happens to me, where people have done interviews and then like it doesn't save or they lose the recording, and I was nervous about that happening, but it didn't happen. So without further ado, here is my episode with Barbara. And I'm excited to share this with you guys. I hope it blesses y'all. And here's to another year of more episodes. I'm going to be coming to you guys twice a month. All right. That's my little goal to start off consistently. So I'll be back with you guys next week with a solo episode. So here we go. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Get Up 10. I'm really excited because I'm here with my friend Barbara, B Bossarella, and I already know we're about to have a great discussion. So hey girl.
Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, Get Up 10. How y'all doing?
Welcome. I'm cracking up because this is like take 3 because I don't know what I'm doing.
It's fine. Let's go with it. It's fine.
Exactly. That is it. We just go with the flow here.
Yes.
So I'm really excited to have this conversation. And I also want to thank you because we were supposed to have this conversation last week, but I was under the weather and I did not want to be coughing every 2 seconds. That's just not cute. So yeah, thank you.
I got you. Thank you. I am so excited as well. I'm honored to be a guest on Get Up 10. I'm so excited. Here we are. It's happening.
It is. Hopefully one day like my podcast will blow up and then people will like come back to this episode. I'm just gonna put that out there. But
let's speak it and believe it. That's it.
So Get Up 10 is all about, if I had to put it in one word, no, I'm going to do 2 words. It's really about resilience and authenticity. Wait, before I get into this, I just want to say for the listeners, Barbara is my friend in real life. I've known her, I don't even know how many years it's been now, but we have like a mutual friend and we needed somebody, well, my family, and I say we needed somebody to like do our hair. And then Barbara was referred to us and it was lit. She would come to my house to do my hair and she had me looking cute for a while. And so my mom was like, wait a minute, I could do this. But we still remained friends. And she is blossoming as a woman, as an entrepreneur. So I'm just really excited for what she's going to share. So our first, we have a special guest, Naomi.
Hi. Our other guest of the podcast.
Yes. Okay. So, yeah, Get Up 10 is all about resilience.
That's so hilarious. She's like, oh, she's recording now? This is my time to shine. I love it. I love it.
I'm like, where is your babysitter? So Get Up 10 is all about resilience and authenticity. And so I named it after Cardi B. I don't know if I will regret that decision later in life, but for now, it is what it is.
We love Cardi.
After her song Get Up 10, which says knock me down 9 times, but I get up 10. And I just think like resilience is so key to life if you're going to be successful. So when is it time or times, however much you want to share, that life has knocked you down?
Oh, child, how long is this podcast? Oh my goodness. Well, so I want to say there was definitely a season when you asked me that question. My mind goes back to a particular season in life where I was kind of newly on my own in a way. I had moved upstate from our hometown and I was living Albany, New York. Whoop whoop. And I had gotten my first apartment and man, did life come for me. Okay. I just remember thinking like this can't be it. Is this really adulthood? Because I was like early 20s. I was like 20, 21, 22 around there. And I was like, is this adulthood? Like it was just one thing after the other. But uh one particular situation that I remember happening that like like literally if that was not life punching me in my throat. So basically the backstory is that like, I had purchased my first car. I had a car before then, like I had started driving, my parents had gotten me a car, but this was my first car that I went and purchased with my own money. It was my first car note. Insurance was like under my name. I was doing the thing. Okay, I was doing the thing. And things were fine. Things were fine for a second. I was in school, I was working full time, everything was great. So basically, I had to kind of switch jobs. I had to change jobs, and people will be like, "Yeah, I'm between jobs," because it means that they don't have a job. But this was literally me being between jobs. Like I had to leave one job because of my school schedule, but I had gotten hired for another job, but I wasn't starting for like 2 months. They had hired me 2 months prior, but because there was so many people coming in, um, they had like a mass orientation basically. So in that 2 month span, okay, in that 2 month span, I I had to stop working, obviously. I had to stop working because of school. School was already going on. So I couldn't work my day job because that's when my school hours were. Or yeah, basically. And so I remember having to still pay my car note. So with the bank that I had my car note, I had my car note and a personal loan. So what I decided in my mind was, excuse me, I'm gonna pay my car note because I need a car, right? Gotta make sure, the little bit of money I had saved up and the little bit of money I had to last me those 2 months until I started the other job. I was gonna pay my car note, rent, and all that good stuff. Well, the manager at the bank had other plans for me. So what I was doing was paying my car note, but not paying the personal loan, right? Because again, I'm early 20s, I think I got this. I think I'm an adult and I'm thriving, I'm responsible, and I'm just doing the thing. I got everything covered. So I was like, well, the personal loan, yeah, it'll mess up my credit for a little bit, but by the time I start working this other job and start getting paid, I'll just catch up on the personal loan payments. But I'm not gonna let the car note, go be you know, the word. Yeah, that word. So so what happened was I was making my car payments and this particular loan manager or whatever she was, I felt like she was a loan shark, really. She was going in and she was cutting my payment in half. At the time, I didn't even know this was legal, to be honest with you. After the fact, like when I realized what happened, it was too late. But basically, she was going in and cutting my payments in half and applying some of the money to the loan and some of the money to my car. Well, what happens is now my car payments are not in full. Long story short, my car gets repossessed. And when I tell you I was devastated, I am hours away from home. It's not like I have a whole bunch of people around that can like give me rides and I'm still working a full time. So by this time, so this takes, if you know anything about like repossessions and any of that stuff, it takes months before, it takes months of late payments or non-payment for it to catch up. So by the time everything caught up, I didn't even realize this is what she was doing. But by the time everything caught up, I had already started the new job. So I started the new job, and one fateful Saturday morning, it's really not funny, but one Saturday morning, I got up and, I just kind of had a routine. I was off that Saturday and I just got up and, before I fix myself a breakfast, I just kind of like to take a peruse around the apartment, look outside the window. Well, this particular Saturday, I looked outside the window and my car wasn't outside. And I was just like, wait, what's happening here? What's going on? And I'm like, at that point, I lived in a pretty safe, pretty residential neighborhood. So I'm like, I know my car wasn't stolen. Like, what is going on? Wouldn't you know it? The bank had my car repossessed. And when I put two and two together, now I'm calling around. I don't know who to call. I'm like, do I call the cops? Like, what do I do? So basically it was the bank. When I called the bank, thankfully, by this time, the bank hadn't been closed because usually banks will close earlier on a Saturday, right? So by this time, I had called the bank and I gave them my thing, and I'm like, could it be? But I'm like, I've been paying, but I had a gut feeling because call it intuition, call it something. I'm like, I know something went wrong with the bank because, like I said, I hadn't been paying the loan. But did I ever expect them to be cutting the payment? Absolutely not. So basically, I got someone on the phone at the bank. They explained what it was to me. They explained what happened, and they gave me the information for where they took my car. And let me just say, it was nowhere near where I lived. I don't know if they do this on purpose. I don't know if it was an upstate New York thing. I don't know. But in any event, that is a particular moment where I felt like
Definitely got
this
knocked
cannot be
down.
happening. Yes, okay. This
That's
cannot be happening.
crazy.
Yes, I had to take cabs to work. I had to and again, this is a newer gig now. This is a newer job. I'm working for a pretty well-known insurance company at the time. I'm making way more money. So everything just did not make sense. So now I had to get up extra early, pay a cab. At that point, the cabs up there were like $20 each way. It was just a mess. It was a mess. But when I tell you I got knocked down, that was
Yeah, that's rough.
they got me. They got me.
So how did you get back up from that?
Oh, oh man. Okay. So wow. So I've been through some things in life, right? But this particular situation is probably forever just in my brain. Like it's forever tattooed on my brain. I can't get rid of it because I really feel like it was a turning point. So I'm glad you asked, right? So basically, like I said, I was making better money. I had called home, kind of a daddy's girl. So I had called I had called my dad and I told him what happened. And so he sent me the money to kind of like pay. So now at this point, they when they repo your car, not only do you have to pay whatever the balance you owe the bank for the car loan, but now you have to pay like a daily whatever it is for wherever they're keeping your car. They're charging you by the day. So it came to be a lot. It ended up being a lot of money. So basically I don't remember the figures, to be honest with you. So I don't want to make anything up, but it came to be a lot of money. So my dad was able to send me some money, and at this point, I had to now take a cab. I was still going to work. It's not like I can call out. I'm just starting this job. So that day it snowed.
Of
It
course it
snowed.
did.
Yeah, there's always some kind of precipitation, right? Just to make things worse.
For dramatic effect or something.
Yes, that's exactly what it felt like. I was like, what is happening? But yeah, so That particular day, it snowed. It snowed in the morning, like as usual. Until I can figure out my life to go get my car back, I was taking these taxis to work. So now I had planned. So now I had the whole plan in my mind. I'm like, I'm gonna go to work. Now that I have the money, I've cleared everything up with the bank. I can go get the car. But now I had to go to work and then from work take a cab to go get my car. But the thing is, you have to go by a certain time because the place closed. And like I said, this place was nowhere near where I lived. So now I had to like leave in the middle of the day. Thank God for my my supervisor at the time. She was just so understanding. I didn't necessarily explain everything that happened. I just said I'm in a bind and I have to go pick up my car because it was embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like it was embarrassing
Yeah.
at the time. Like yeah, I didn't want to have to explain to people, "Oh yeah, I got my car repo because I was being like neglectful with this personal loan that I had with the bank, whatever." So she was understanding. So I took a cab from work. Mind you, this is half a day, right? This is mid work day. I'm thinking this place, I think I mapped it out on my phone. It was like, I want to say like maybe a 30-minute drive, maybe 45-minute drive. But now that I'm thinking about it, it was way farther than that. So I don't even know what I expected. I don't even know why I expected to be back to be back at work so much sooner. But anyways, I got a cab. The cab was this lovely African man. He was so nice to me. And, he was kind of, I'm telling him the story on the way there. So I had to go to the bank, get the remainder of the money because now not only did I have to settle it with the bank, when I get to this place, this I still don't know what to call it, but wherever they keep all the cars. When I get to this place, I have to settle whatever they were charging me every day that they had my car.
Do
So
you
he had
remember like
to,
how
he,
many days it was?
oh my gosh, it must have been like, it had to be a solid like 2 weeks. Those were
Okay,
like the
okay.
longest,
I don't know why I was thinking
longest
like
2 weeks.
months, but yeah.
No, 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 it wasn't months. I would not have been able to, to survive months without my car because again, I was full time, I was working full time, and I was going to school. I had to drive to school, which was the
Mhm.
reason why I had to switch jobs to begin with. So I
Okay.
wouldn't have made it. I
Okay.
definitely wouldn't have made it. But I know I'm saying it's 2 weeks, and I know people go way longer than that without cars, but
Nah,
it was the
it's
longest 2 weeks
upstate
of my
New
life.
York, like you need a car. Even like Rockland County,
Exactly.
which is upstate to like real New
Exactly.
Yorkers, but whatever. I'm not gonna
Right.
get into that.
It's
We need cars.
like it's upstate to the city, right? But this is like actual upstate. Where we live
Yeah.
is not really upstate, but actual upstate. So yeah, so like it was 2 weeks, but it was the longest 2 weeks of my life. And let's just say they were charging, I don't know, maybe like 35, $40 a day. That adds up very quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. So times that by 14,
Especially when
okay?
you're in college.
Exactly. It was just the worst. It was just the worst. So basically, so the cab driver brings me up there and we're driving and driving some more and driving some more. And he was saying, like, he made a comment. He was just like, I really feel like they put these cars so much farther from you on purpose so that you're like, you're kind of discouraged to want to come get it. And I just was like, I'm getting my car today. I know when I left my house that morning, I was like, today's the day I am picking up my car. I don't care if I have to fight. I mean, I don't condone violence, don't fight. But but like it was just, so just speaking of how I overcame, like I feel like that situation just did something to me. Like something came alive in me that day, like a beast arose in me that day. It was just like, we're not taking no for an answer. We're getting the car. And let me tell you, so we finally get up there. I get to the spot where I got to get the car. They have me in a waiting room. It felt like a little bit of a jail processing. Now, and I don't even know what that looks like in real life. Thank God I don't know what a jail processing
Ooh,
center
I
looks
hope you
like.
never
But
find
if I
out.
had, I never want to find out. I hope I never find out. But if I had to imagine what it's like, I feel like it would be like that. It was just whatever. So I finally, um, I get the payment to them or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, unfortunately, you have to pay an extra however much it was." I think I was short. Oh, I was short because I paid the cab. That's what it was. I was short with cash because I had to pay the cab. So when I got there, I was thinking to myself like, well, whatever's left, I could just charge it on my debit card. Well, get this. They were just like, "Oh, yeah, sorry. There's a big sign that says cash only."
Of course.
So now I'm like, yeah. So now I'm like, great. So remember I said it had been snowing. This whole time I had rain boots on like a clown because in my mind I was just going to get there, pay the money and hop in my car and drive back to work. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think I was going to have to be walking anywhere. But when they said that, they're just like, "Yeah, I'm so sorry, man. You have to like we need cash. Like we don't do checks, we don't do, cards, anything like that." I was like, "Oh my gosh."
That's so
So
sketchy.
now it was, but at the time I'm not thinking. I'm just like frustrated, I'm
Yeah.
cold, I'm just, I'm desperate because I'm like, I need to get this car. So now they're just like, "Oh, there's a store, like, it's like a convenience store like down the road. They have an ATM." And I'm like, "Oh, great. Okay, great." So now I'm walking to this ATM and it's snow, it's ice, it's slush. I have rain boots on. My toes are about to fall off. I get to this place. I think it was called Stewart's, if I'm not mistaken. So I get to
Yes,
this
that's
Stewart's.
upstate New York
Yes,
for sure.
that's up. So you already know. You already know,
They
right?
got the ice cream.
So, yes, exactly, exactly. So I finally get to Stewart's and I'm huffing and I'm puffing and I'm huffing and I'm puffing. So I get there and I go to the ATM. Well, guess what? The ATM is denying me because apparently my bank account um had like a limit on how much I can take out for the day. And I had
Oh
never
my
taken out that much
gosh.
money. So now I have a limit, right? So it just
This story is frustrating
everything.
me.
Okay, can I tell you everything that could go wrong did? So now I gotta get on the phone with the bank to um to increase my limit for the day so that I can use it to ATM. Okay.
All right. So I never have to edit my interviews, but this one I'm going to have to edit
It's
because
because it's too good. It's too good. I'm
that's
telling
what it
you. It's
is.
too
Like
good.
the story is just driving me crazy. And then now I had to pause twice, but it's fine. Everything's fine. We're
It's
professionals
fine.
here.
It's all gonna be fine. Don't even worry about it. We're fine.
Okay,
But
so
yeah,
you're on the phone with the bank. You had to increase your limit so you can use the ATM, and then what?
yes. And so now my phone is starting to die on me. It's like giving me 7%. It's giving me 5%. Now it's on 4%. And I'm still on hold waiting for whoever's manager to come on the phone and approve this temporary increase. Right. And literally, I'm down to the last second. Okay. 2% battery. And it was an older phone at the time. So the battery was not going to stick with me the whole time. So finally, when I tell you the final hour, the lady comes on the phone and she's like, "Okay, she has to verify I am who I am." And I'm just like, "I just need it for this one day, ma'am. Like, that's all I need. Please hit your button because my phone's about to die." And I'm looking at these people like they do have a payphone, but like, who wants to go through all that, right? So finally, she increases the limit. She said, "This is the increase for the day. After 12 p.m. or whatever, it's going to be whatever. After a day or something, it'll go back to my regular limit." And I'm like, "That's fine. That's fine." So I get the rest of the money out the ATM. Now I walk back. I, I walk back to this place where my car is. And again, I go and sit in this little cold little cell. And finally, the guy comes and he could just see the look on my face. I don't know if it was anger that he saw. I don't know if it was like, I don't know what it was he saw on my face. I don't know if it was frustration. I don't know if it was desperation, but I could just tell he was scared to approach me. He was scared to say anything to me at that point, and he walked up to me so scared. This young boy, he was just so scared. He was like, "Ma'am, I'm sorry to inform you, but we can't give you the car without your license plate."
Oh my gosh.
I mean, but I knew this though. So the license plate was in my, like, I had like a little book bag with me. The license plate was in my book bag. He didn't know this. So when I pulled out my license plate, the look of relief on this guy's face, you would have thought it was his car. You would have, like, I could just tell that everything that I was feeling in that moment, that whole day, you could just see it on my face because I just seen the fear in his face. So anyways, I give him the license plates and he was just like, okay. And I guess, like, again, it had snowed. This is winter. They had to, like, go get the car. And it's like a sea of cars, okay? It's like a whole big lot of full of cars, and they had to go get it wherever it was and start it up, make sure it warmed up. They cleaned off the snow for me, and and I'm in this room and I'm just praying to myself. I'm praying to God, but I'm like kind of like silently praying, and I'm just like, I'm getting my car today. Like, God, please don't let them come back and tell me there's anything else. Please let the car be okay. I just can't. Like, at that point, I'm like, I'm done. I've fought. I've done all I could do to get here. I did everything I knew to do. I have no more fight in me left for to do. Like, I just can't do it. So mind you, my phone is dead now. By this time, my phone has completely died. And now we're hours into this thing. Mind you, I think I had told my boss that I would be back like in an hour. We're going on like 2.5 hours now. And I hadn't been able to reach out to her because my phone died. So now I'm like, great, I'm gonna get fired. Like, here we are. Like, just everything, everything, everything. But I am so happy to say that everything was fine after that. They put the license plates on my car. I got in the car and I think, I'm trying to think. I think I might have had like a charger in the car that I forgot about. So I was able to plug up the car and put the GPS on because, again, I don't know where I am. So I had to plug that up and then drive back to work. And I had to like text my boss on the way and explain to her, like, I'm so sorry, I'm on my way back. You know, my phone had died. I just got to my car and the charger was in the car and so on and so forth. So I made it back with the car. But I gave you that whole story to say, when I tell you that overcoming moment was like a mindset shift, it was a mindset shift in that I think I proved to myself, or like maybe the situation was really just supposed to show me, like, you can no longer be a woe is me. You can no longer just let life happen to you. Things that may go wrong in your life, and it will, things are going to go wrong. You can no longer have the attitude of, oh no, what will I do? No, clearly you're a fighter. Clearly you're going to go for what you absolutely want. Clearly you are going to fight tooth and nail, even if your big toe was about to fall off. Because when I tell you, it was so cold
The
that
rain
day, okay?
boots.
With my rain boots, with rubber rain boots, like, what are you doing? Girl, what are you doing? But yeah, like, it just was a turning point, and it was like, you're a fighter. You're gonna make it through whatever it is that comes your way, and you've proven that because everything that could come your way did. And I almost gave up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna hold you. I wanted to give up. I wanted to because it was
That was a lot.
you ever
Even
see,
just
like, the
listening to you
cold?
talk about it, I'm just like, I
Yes.
can't.
And this happened years ago. This happened so many years ago. And when I tell you it was like it happened yesterday, that's how fresh it is. And I'm glad that it's fresh because, like I said, that mindset of you're going to fight, and if you want it, you're going to do what it takes to get it. Like, that's never left me. So that's pretty much how I overcame that, girl.
I
That's how
love
that
that. Okay, so
happened.
I don't know, like, feel free to disagree or like correct or whatever.
Yes.
But I've noticed on social media, there's like all these posts about like, oh, I don't want to be a strong woman anymore. Like, I want to be gentle or I want to be soft or whatever. Like, have you seen those type of
Mhm.
posts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like, I get it. I'm not even gonna like knock anybody. Like, I totally get where it's coming from, but at the same time I'm like, that's cute, but that's not like the reality of life. And especially like now that I have a daughter, I'm like, nah, like we're raising warriors over here. All right, like I'm raising a fighter. Like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I get it.
I love that
S-
story.
So I'm glad you brought it. I'm glad you brought that up, right? Because while the fight is still in me, I think I think a lot is to be said about having a balance. I think
Yes.
balance is beautiful, right?
Mhm.
Now I know why people are saying that, because, and I don't know if you're familiar with Clubhouse, but I'm in these Clubhouse streets and I hear a lot of like conversations centered around that very thing, and how, like, whether it's the topic is men want a woman who's going to submit, or like we're just listening to men talk about what they don't like about women, or what they like about women, or you know what I mean, or how to keep a man one on one, whatever, that kind of stuff. And for the most part, I do hear a lot of men say the same thing, like, we don't want to feel like we're like competing. We don't want to feel like we're in a relationship with someone that we have to compete. Like, you're not going to be the boss of me. If I'm supposed to be the man of the house, then let me do that because that's my role. And I absolutely agree. I can agree now, but my 21, 22-year old self probably wouldn't have agreed. Not gonna lie, not gonna lie about that. But who I am now, I agree with that. I agree in wanting to be gentle. I agree in wanting to be softer. I think though, like I said, the magic is in the balance, and I really feel like the magic is in being that warrior when it's necessary. When
Yes,
it's necessary,
absolutely.
when it matters. Like in this case, it was very necessary, okay? Because nobody was going to be able to fight that battle for me. Nobody was going to be able to do what I needed to do for me. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, I'm still single in these streets, single and thriving in abundance.
Yes.
But I can imagine, when I do get married, there's some things that, I've had to be quote unquote strong and independent about, that I'm gonna have to scale back a bit. And I'm kind of learning that now. I'm practicing that now, because you're not gonna change overnight. It just doesn't work that way. So
Yeah.
I am practicing, and I do agree that you should be gentle. But I think if I can give you any advice, or any I don't know, any suggestions, I should say, because I feel like I never want to give people advice when they're raising kids, obviously, because I don't have kids yet. But I feel like your what would be like amazing about your job in raising your daughter is to teach her the balance. Let her see you being strong, but let her also see you being like soft and gentle and loving. So she knows there's a balance there, and she knows when each, side is appropriate. And I
Yeah.
feel like at that point, who gonna check you? Like, who gonna check you? But
I
yeah,
love
that's
it.
what I think about that.
I completely agree with you. Like, even when I
Yeah.
think about my own upbringing, like I did not struggle growing up. I'm
Mhm.
definitely from the middle class, okay?
The burbs. We're from the burbs.
845.
Yes.
Yeah, but what gave me a sense for like resiliency and learn and like that warrior spirit, um,
Mhm.
I really feel like it came from sports, honestly. Like I've learned so many
Mm.
life lessons from playing basketball all the years that I did, and in soccer and track, but really basketball because I love basketball.
Yeah.
And I definitely, even I think about it now, and I don't know if I've done episodes on this before or if I will have to in the future, but like even to this day, I think about how I feel like one life lesson that I really learned from basketball is like how to choose your battles, I guess you could say. Because
Yeah.
there's a difference between like I need to show up and it doesn't matter how I feel. I need to push through and know that I'll be all right. And then there's like another side where it's like, no, like I'm not okay. This is not my battle. I need to stand down. And I feel
Right.
like I learned that at an early age, and it's definitely helpful as an adult for sure. But sometimes I be questioning myself. I'm like, am I being soft?
Let
I'm
me
really
tell you, you have learned in your adolescence, I guess, something that
yeah.
a lot of like older adults are still trying to tackle, picking their battles. Wow. Wow. I'll just say that because
It's so
I
true.
see some people who are even like way older than me, and I'm 30 something. Again, thriving in abundance. But I see people that are way older than me, and I'm just like, everything doesn't need to be a fight. It just can't always be this serious. Like, you know what I mean? If you're always ready to go, you how will you have energy for the time when it matters? I'm just saying. That's just my thing though.
It's true. It's true. All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of motherhood and mom life, we
Hmm.
it had a special guest appearance again. So
Yes.
I feel bad because she got 2 more shots today. She's been doing really good
Oh,
today. So, and I could tell my
okay.
mom is getting tired.
Oh,
So,
well, you'll have to have like a special episode with just her because clearly she
oh,
needs
just
to be
wait till
heard.
she starts
Okay.
talking. Just wait. Oh my gosh, that girl is a clown. She's so funny.
Like I must be heard. But yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'm
Yes.
gonna wrap up with 3 questions
Mhm.
that I like to do for fun. So
Okay.
the first question is about travel, and we just pretend that Corona does not exist. And
Hmm.
yeah, I can't
Yeah.
even say that the world is back to normal because I don't think we'll ever be back to normal. But
It's not. Hmm.
there's just
Hmm.
we're just imagine that we're in a better place.
Yes.
So that being said, like what's one place that you would love to travel to?
Oh my gosh. One place only? Do I only
I
have to pick?
know.
Um, I would love to go back to Africa, actually.
You've
Like I've
been?
been there. Does that count?
Oh, that's
Does
so
that count? Because
cool.
I've already been
Yeah.
there.
So where did you
I
go
would
the first
absolutely go back.
time?
I actually went to Ghana.
Okay.
And I would absolutely go back. Like I really feel like eventually I want to go to like just about every country in Africa. But yeah, so far I've only scratched Ghana. So far I've only been to Ghana.
That's so
And
cool.
even that little corner of, West Africa was just so amazing, so beautiful. I absolutely want to go back for sure.
I love that. Okay. And then what's
Yeah.
a song that you got on repeat right now?
A song? Oh, okay. So my playlist is real. It could be a little bipolar, okay, because I
That's
got like
fine. That's fine.
gospel, I got reggae, I got Haitian compa, like there's a lot. But one song that comes to mind, I can't remember. Oh, I can't think of who sings it, but it's called The Blessing. The
uh,
name is right on the tip of my head, but
is it
it's
Carrie
called The
Joe?
Blessing. Yes, yes,
Is that how you say her name?
yes.
I don't even know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I see it. But yeah, The Blessing. Like when I tell you, I get in my car and it's on blast. Okay, like, and then right after her is like a reggae joint. But it's fine. It's fine.
I love it. That's such a powerful song, especially like it came out in 2020 and it was just like right on time.
Yes,
I just remember like,
that's my jam.
first of all, when it came out, everybody was playing it and like declaring it. And I remember when I was in the hospital
Yes.
after I had my daughter, I definitely was playing that and like singing it over her. That
See,
is
yup,
definitely an anthem. I actually saw
that's
her
my
perform
jam.
it. I watched Passion conference a couple
Mm-hmm.
weekends ago, and she performed with her
Yeah.
husband Cody Carnes, and they did that song, so that was cool. And
Beautiful,
lastly,
beautiful song. Yes.
yes, it really is. My daughter is screaming. So the last question, can you share a book that either, so it could be something that you're reading right now that's really good, or like something that you've read already but you just feel like it needs to be shared. So a book recommendation, if you,
Oh, okay. Can I do two?
of course.
I'll do two. Okay, so the first book I have read, and I'm actually going to re-listen. I've read it in, physical form, but I'm actually going to re-listen to it on Audible. Shameless plug.
I love Audible.
Well, not
They need
yeah,
to
right?
sponsor
Like, I'm
me.
like,
I'm trying to get a
exactly.
partnership.
Yes. So the first book is called Wholeness by Toure Roberts.
Yes.
Some people may know he's the pastor of One LA in California. That book is amazing. Highly recommend for anyone at any stage in life. It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Just the title, Wholeness, like period, right? The
Mm-hmm.
second book, I'm actually in the middle of that now, and it is just blessing my life. It's called Think and Grow Rich: The Black Choice.
Oh yes,
Now,
I've heard of that.
a lot of people might be familiar with Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill from like
Yeah, yeah,
years
yeah.
and years and years ago. This book is actually Think and Grow Rich. Um, I I'm mad that I forget the
It's
guy's
like
name.
Dennis Kimbro.
Des Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes. So it's basically still with Napoleon Hill technically because he took the concept of the book and he kind of but he makes it into it's kind of like more geared and towards black people, and
Yeah.
I love that because black. Okay, so
Yes.
yeah, that book is absolutely blessing me, and it's not just about growing rich, it's not just about money, it's about just mindset, and I feel like
Exactly.
mindset goes so far. But yeah, that's absolutely a
Yeah. You gotta get
recommendation.
first, yes, because if you get your mind right, like the money's gonna come. So
Yeah, exactly,
yeah.
exactly. But yeah, those are my two recommendations for sure.
So good. Thank you. And it's
Yeah.
funny that you mentioned Wholeness, because I did read that book when it first came out, and then I ended up giving it to my ex. He was not my ex when I gave it to him. Like, I was being a
I'm
supportive
sure.
girlfriend. And I was
I'm
like,
sure. Yeah, of course.
but then we ended up breaking up, and like I never got the book back, which is fine because I'm not even, some people are real petty when they break up and they're like, give me
It's
stuff back, but I'm not like that type.
it's fine.
So
It's
that's
fine. Hopefully he'll read it,
I
and
hope
he'll
he's
get his mind right.
yeah. But sometimes I wish like I still had the book. So maybe I'll have to buy another one or something. Cause I
Yeah,
did
or get it on Audible.
I feel like that is a book that you need the hard copy just because it's like
This is true.
that good. Yeah. I would
This is
totally
true.
buy it
This is
again.
true.
All
This is
right.
true. Yes.
So do you have any last words that you want to share?
Oh my gosh. Only that I am so honored to have been on your podcast. This is, like I said, my first podcast interview. I do have my own podcast, but I haven't
Yes, plug
interviewed
your podcast.
anybody. I've never Oh, okay. If you insist.
Of course.
So my podcast is called Jesus Please Holla Back. You can find it on Apple, Spotify, just about anywhere else you listen to your favorite podcast. Um, we're getting our lives back, we're getting our minds right, and we're still, we're telling Jesus to please holla back because we
Yes.
need answers.
Yes.
But yes, I'm so glad that I was able to do this. And just full circle moment, you were talking about the hair earlier, and I'm like, wow, like I just remember, doing your hair at your house, and you would be telling me about like basketball practice and different things that were going on at like, on your team and stuff. So
Oh my
like this
god.
is what I know, this is way back in the way back, okay? And look at us now. At that point, you could have never told me that I would even be interested in podcasts at all, like, let alone podcasting myself. So I'm so glad. And obviously, I'm extremely proud of you. Like, I've just seen you grow so much, and I just love it. And I'm just I'm here and I'm smiling and it's making my heart happy to see how much you've grown, and it's just amazing. So yeah,
Oh,
that's
got me about to cry. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I
Yeah,
love this conversation. I feel like we could totally keep going, but we won't.
of course, of
And you
course. I'll
did
have to come back,
oh yes,
It's
yes, yes,
fine.
part two for sure.
And
So
you'll have to come on Jesus Please Holla Back, and we just
what?
gonna keep it
Yes,
going like
I
that.
would love that. Thank you, friend.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.